everyone, it is currently Tuesday the 9th of May, I believe. Yes, Tuesday the 9th of May. And I haven't actually recorded something for nearly a week. The last thing I recorded was the Dear Charlotte, which went up on Thursday. Still waiting for a reply on that, Charlotte. Get on that. It has been nearly a week since I actually recorded anything, which I didn't intend, but I'm not disappointed with. I mean, I've had a ridiculously busy few weeks, and it's just going to get even busier. I'm in my last week of training at my new job. Today, what I wanted to do was a video that I wanted to do a while ago, but I just didn't because I didn't really have the motivation to do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my April favourites. Now, the reason I just suddenly decided to do this is because my friend Elizabeth, who has a channel called Teacup Dragon, if you're not subscribed or if you haven't seen her channel, go check her out. She's very cool. She does a lot of Disney stuff, a lot of book hauls. I've appeared in a couple of her videos when we've been to conventions and stuff like that. I've been watching Elizabeth's channel and she's done a couple of monthly favourite videos, mainly to do with books, but she's done a couple where she's talked about films and stuff. And I decided, hey, I had favourite things from last month, so why not do it? Here are my April favourites. I'm going to talk about music, film, TV and books. I think we should start with TV because there have been two big things that have happened on TV in April, for me anyway, and oh my god, just all of the yes. The two TV shows that I'm going to talk about in my April favourites video are Doctor Who, Series 10, hell yes, it finally came back and I must say I am so happy. At the time of filming this we've had 4 episodes of Series 10 so far and I have liked all of them. Honestly, I say they've been getting better and better every week. I mean, the pilot was good, but it was by no means Stephen Moffat's best. Smile was a lot better than I expected it would be. Again, not brilliant, the ending was a bit but the actual concept and the plot was very good. Thin Ice was very well thought out and surprisingly more political than I expected, but I really enjoyed it. And Knock Knock, I loved Knock Knock. I thought that was a brilliant episode. Capaldi is still being amazing. Like, I love him so much. I'm gutted he's leaving. I'm not sad. I mean, I'm excited to see who the next Doctor's going to be, especially if it's Chris Marshall, I think that's his name, who has been rumoured, who I know from My Family and Death in Paradise. Both very good shows. Peter Capaldi's a very, very, very good Doctor. And I think the 2 series he's been in so far have been brilliant, and I think this one's shaping up to be really, really good as well. So yes, Doctor Who. So the second show I'm going to talk about is Line of Duty. If you have never seen Line of Duty, rectify this. It is so good. The first series is great. Probably the weakest of the 4 so far, but it is still great. Series 2 was amazing, Series 3 was fantastic, and Series 4 I would put about on level with Series 3. I mean, I don't really know how they can get any better at the moment because they're just consistently fantastic. Line of Duty, amazing. Go watch it. I'm telling you now, go and watch Line of Duty. I made Phil, my partner, he'd never seen it before and I was really hyped up. It was the end of Series 3 and it was bloody amazing, and I kept saying to him, you need to watch Line of Duty. It is one of the best things, if not the best thing on TV. Moving on from TV, I'm now going to go on to films, and again there are 2 films that I would like to talk about. Now, I don't go to the cinema very often, not so much by choice, it's just a case of I don't always have the money to go, and I'm not the biggest film fanatic. I went to the cinema twice in April, and the 2 films I went to see are both very anime related. One is genuine just anime, and the other is based on an anime So the first film I saw in April was Ghost in the Shell, the new live-action remake starring Scarlett Johansson, who is my favourite Hollywood actress. It was good. Wasn't excellent, but it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. The cinematography was fantastic, the action was great. They managed to recreate the scene on the lake where they're fighting and she's invisible, and I didn't know how they would do that, but it was very, very well executed. And yeah, it was just a really enjoyable film. Nothing to write home about, but very enjoyable, so if you get a chance to watch it, go and watch it, because I really don't think it deserves a lot of the hate that it's getting. And the second thing I went to see in April was, as you know, because you will have seen the vlog, Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale, which was amazing. I was so happy I went to see this. It stayed true to the original anime. I loved the Sword Art Online series, and the film just added to it. It had a very separate plot. None of the plot threads in this were really related that much to the original series, but I didn't mind that so much. It was great to see the characters back. Klein is my personal favourite Sword Art Online character. He didn't really get much to do in this, which let me down a smidge. But honestly, Asuna got so many good moments that I really didn't mind. Asuna was amazing. Kirito, especially at the end, just everyone had some really, really good moments. They got all the characters in from the series. It was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. Moving on to music, I'm going to talk about 3 main things that I've been listening to over April. And I should clarify, not everything that I mention is going to be brand new. In fact, one of the things I'm going to mention came out almost 2 years ago, but it's something that I've only really properly got into in April, which I don't know why, and I'm surprised myself, but I'm so glad I finally did. Rather than it all being about new stuff, I'm going to just talk about what I enjoyed in the month of April. First thing I'm going to talk about is just a song. It's probably my favourite song of the year so far, which I think the video came out at the end of February, so I know I'm a little bit late to this, but Chained to the Rhythm by Katy Perry is by far my favourite mainstream release of the year so far. I think it's a very fun song. It's got a very good meaning to it, I think. Honestly, it's the music for me. I really like the music of it. It's not as typical as I've come to expect of modern day chart music, which I'm really not a big fan of, but yes. Katy Perry, Chained to the Rhythm, a really, really good song. Second thing I'm going to talk about is the return of Steps. Because of my mum, my sister and I have grown up listening to Steps among other things, so we've always liked Steps, but they are back and they have a new album out, which granted I haven't actually listened to yet. I've listened to a couple of the songs off of it. The ones that I've heard I like, but Scared of the Dark, which is the single they released not too long ago, is really, really good. I love it. The only reason I wouldn't say it's my favourite mainstream release so far is because it didn't really perform as well in the charts, which to be honest is to be expected because they're a very British thing. They're not really known outside of Britain. I can't wait to hear their new album, and I'm going to see them in November. I cannot wait. I'm so excited to see basically my childhood band live, finally, and oh, I can't wait. Final music thing I'm going to talk about is the album Confident by Demi Lovato. I got this around Christmas 2015, so a couple of months after it actually came out, and the reason I got it that late is because I was contemplating buying it, but then one of my friends kept telling me to wait because never know what I'm going to get for Christmas, and then it turns out I was her secret Santa and she'd actually gotten me the album for Christmas, so it's a good job I didn't buy it. I actually listened to the album the first opportunity I got once I had it, and honestly, I was really underwhelmed at first. Because I was so underwhelmed the first time I heard it, I just never really gotten back round to listening to it again because there are other albums I'd rather listen to. I recently decided to give the album another chance. I listened to it again, I listened to the songs on YouTube just to try and get a feel for them, and I am so sorry, Demi, that I didn't give this enough of a chance because I like nearly every single song on this album now. So Demi, I'm sorry that I didn't give this album as much of a chance, especially since I say you're my favourite singer, but yes, Confident, fantastic album, and I'm pretty sure you're recording a new one if I'm not mistaken, so I can't wait for album number 6. Final thing I'm going to talk about, like I said, is books, and I'm only going to talk about one book because I got back into reading sometime last year. I read a couple of books, all that I really quite liked, but just because I've been going through a lot, be it a busy schedule or just sort of dealing with stuff in my personal life, I just didn't really do much reading, and I haven't for a while. The one book I have been reading, which I'm very nearly finished, is called The Sorcerer to the Crown, and it is by Zen Cho, and it is really, really good. Now, I love a good fantasy story. A lot of my favourite films or games or books have fantasy settings, so one of my favourite films is The Princess Bride, one of my favourite games is Skyrim. It is very, very good. It's a lot different than I expected it to be. I just thought it would be a typical fantasy story, but it's a lot more political. It tackles the themes of racism and sexism, and I think it's handled in a very clever way. The author, is female. She was born in Malaysia and now she lives in London, so she's of Asian descent, and It's just a really, really well written book. It's got quite old language in there, like a lot of the words and a lot of the ways that people speak are very olden, such as the word thaumaturge, which I didn't know until I read this book, and I now know it's another word for a magician, or like a very, very sort of fancy magician. I'm near the end. I have that much left to read. So how many pages is that? I'm on page 265 and there are 371. So I've got just over 100 pages left, which honestly, if I sat down and really read, would not take me long to finish. If I really sat down, I reckon I could finish this by the end of the week, if not earlier, which I'm actually going to try and do because there are other books that I want to read, but I didn't want to read them until I'd finished this. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Please like and subscribe if you liked this. There's more content on the way, and yeah, just in general, thank you for supporting the channel.